evening and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jim Fuller. In tonight's news, the Tullahoma Wildcats try to win their third playoff game against Pearl-Cohn. Think Tullahoma 2040 had its preliminary presentation, and the Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen were served with papers by a liquor license applicant. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
We teach Parkinson's patients how to move big and not let the Parkinson's slow them down. I've had patients I've treated in-house that could not even stand up, could not roll over in the bed, left the facility walking with a walker, have come back to us in outpatient and continued their big program and are now completely, handling life. The success of the program is just phenomenal.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. This weekend, the 12-0 Tullahoma Wildcats take on the 11-1 Pearl-Cohn Firebirds in the third round of the 2021 playoffs. Pearl-Cohn's only loss this season was at the hands of the Wildcats, and this looks to be a great matchup. John Gray spoke with Coach John Olive about this weekend's matchup.
We'll see another team that we've already played this year, Pearl-Cohn out of Nashville, and you'll be in for a treat. It's one of the best football players in the state of Tennessee. Baron Brown will be here trying to lead them against us, and be a big challenge for our young men. See if we can't find another way to win a ball game and keep this thing moving. We'd like to get back to the semifinals for the first time since 1987 when Coach Shaw was playing
1987.
And, got denied in 18, and we talked a little bit about the 18 team that
right.
we had just run out of ammo. We had too many injuries. And last year, we didn't play our best game, and Nolensville did, and we got beat 15-14 in the state quarters. This time, get another shot. Try to see if we can get to the state semifinals. If you get to the state semifinals, then your next goal is to get to the finals. And
that's
it.
To
the finals, your next one is try to bring a gold ball back.
There you go, Tullahoma High School. That's right. And the last time Pearl-Cohn was here, it was a tough ball game, and we understood the first half what was going on, and then all of a sudden that momentum thing takes place, and it's a battle, and our young men, they wanted Pearl-Cohn to win that game last night. Because I asked you last week, I asked Coach, what do you want? Would you think Hardin County? Because you've always said it's hard to beat a good football team twice in one season.
Difficult. And you go back, last year's state champions, okay,
right.
Elizabethton, I don't remember what the final score was, but they won the state championship by 4 touchdowns or more. I mean, they obliterated Haywood County. They won their quarterfinal game 24-21 against Greenville, a team that they had beaten by 3 or 4 touchdowns during the regular season.
Right.
But Greenville's an outstanding program,
right.
An outstanding team, and they were a young team last year. And all I'm saying is that that's how difficult it is to beat somebody a second time.
Right.
When you play and so forth. And for us last year, we played Marshall County for a second time, beat them. We played Nolensville for a second time, got beat 15-14.
Right.
This year, we played Montgomery Central for a second time, and now we're going to turn around and play Pearl-Cohn for a second time. And if you miss the first game, you missed one really good high school football game. May have been the most intense game from the first play of the game to the last play of the game that I've ever been a part of. It was what high school football ought to be about. It was a great experience. It's a tough opponent. They're big, they're physical just like us. They have great athletes. They have Berrien Brown, who's one of the best athletes in our state, if not the best football player.
And nationally.
It's a great challenge for our young men, and that's all right.
They want it.
We'll take the great challenge.
They
our
wanted
young
it.
men, they know what's ahead. They know what they're trying to do, what they're trying to accomplish. They've been to the state quarterfinals. This senior class has been 2 times to the quarterfinals. This will be their 3rd quarterfinal game. They get it, and you got to play whoever shows up in front of you, and you got to get after them. It will be an intense football game. We know each other quite well nowadays, and you're going to watch their number 44 and 51 battle against our offensive linemen, and our offensive linemen battling against these guys. It's just you can zero in out there at the wide receiver position and watch battles take place. It is going to be one intense football game, and we hope that you'll be there and be in the stands and help us get after these Pearl-Cohn Firebirds and see if we can't host a semifinal football game.
Yeah, be outstanding.
I guess 1979 was the other time that Tullahoma went to the playoffs, and I believe Tullahoma hosted the Oak Ridge Wildcats that night.
Right.
So we've got an opportunity to bring the semifinals here for the first time in over 40 years.
Yeah.
So let's get it done.
That's right, because last time the environment that was in that stadium was because of you folks that were in there. It was crazy wild, and when our team needed support, the stands were just rocking and pounding and screaming, and it was wonderful, and we need that again from now on out, particularly this coming Friday night with Pearl-Cohn coming to town.
We'll be right back after these messages.
I feel like we're safe at Parkview.
There's somebody on staff all the time. So if you need help, help is there.
We are surrounded with people that are looking after us and taking care of us.
The staff is wonderful and always available. We feel so safe and secure here.
I feel safe at Parkview all the time.
We tend to lose our motivation when we have something that's chronic, but you've got to do what you can early on as you can. After I'd exercise like that, I would have a lot of energy to do housework or whatever I needed. Well, I would recommend it highly to anyone at any degree of Parkinson.
Let us champion your recovery. Life Care Center of Tullahoma.
Welcome back. Think Tullahoma 2040 recently held its final 2 meetings before they come back with a finished plan in January for the aldermen and stakeholders to review. John Gray spoke with Tullahoma Mayor Ray Noyes about the proposal so far.
Phil Walker with Walker Collaborative presented the concept plan that they've been working on now for about 8 months. And that plan consisted of interviews with over 1,000 people making contributions to that plan, ideas from citizens.
Right.
One of the principal things about selecting Walker Collaborative for doing this study was their intent to bring community involvement to the plan, and that was demonstrated last night for this final concept plan meeting that we had. It was their presentation to the community of what they have unearthed,
yes,
with all of the comments that they've been getting. So the things that were very upfront was the need for more sidewalks in our community, to make our community more walkable, And that would become a hallmark for our community to have a more walkable community. So sidewalks were very upfront as one of the high points. Another thing that was presented as very needed in the community was a central gathering place. A central gathering place, the Walker Collaborative Group wants that community gathering place to be downtown to aid the economic development of downtown. Some of the comments about that was, but we have a central gathering place at South Jackson Central, Community Central there, and everyone recognizes that, but the group insisted that we need a downtown gathering place. There were comments about that. Another thing about the need for downtown is and it becomes very obvious that we need another overpass or underpass across their CSX
right.
railroads. A plan was presented for that perhaps near the midpoint of downtown. To do that, it would take all the traffic coming in from the northeastern side of town to the downtown city, part of the city. Currently, that traffic goes down Kings Lane and crosses the underpass onto South Jackson. Hey, look, if we had an underpass or an overpass down Midtown, that traffic would come down Ovoka and across the viaduct, or a new viaduct in the Midtown area. Take that traffic off of North Jackson, which is a kind of a no-brainer to get that done. But
right.
That's a big ticket item, but I think it would be a very, very good project for downtown Tullahoma.
Now, would that come in where Highway 55 comes in from Lynchburg and cross there?
That is the idea that was presented by Lisa Gerthen from her team.
Right, a Tullahoma girl.
Tullahoma girl, yes, and that was a very, I had not thought about that particular area, but that was their idea, and I certainly promote it.
So that's a very good thing. And someone said how do you get from one side of the street on Jackson Street, north and south, without waiting at a red light, and still there's traffic everywhere. And my thought was the only thing you can do is go over it.
That's correct.
And I'm glad to see that that's come as a part of the deal. And that affects also your walkability there, and get someone across that railroad track to the other side. It just makes sense.
Well, it's something that is needed, yet yes, it costs money.
And we'll be back with the second half of Mayor Noyes' interview after these messages.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. Get to Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Welcome back. In the second part of Tullahoma Mayor Ray Noyes' interview with the Think Tullahoma 2040 plan, the mayor speaks with news leaders John Gray about how the concept plan will be finished and covers some of the ideas discussed in the meeting.
That's one of the things that this team will be taking what they presented as their concept plan that they presented last night. There must have been 100 people there in attendance to hear that, and half a dozen or a dozen or so people made comments about it, some of them very, very positive. The thing that they will do now is take this concept plan back and put it into a document form, a book if you will,
right,
that will come back to the city as their recommendations. That will come back to their board for review. That will go, their comments will then go back for further inclusion into the plan. So it's a living document that they're presenting
Right.
at this point. So I'm very happy with the process that the Walker Collaborative Group is going through to make this a viable product for our comprehensive development plan for 2040.
And I hear that there was a little bit of conversation, or maybe a lot of conversation, about the land next to Rock Creek behind the Catholic Church, all the way down to Grundy Street behind the police station. That maybe being that whole area being a park area.
That concept has been one of the plans for that area. It's called essentially a Central Park.
Right.
Right there, and it's an area that, with the acquisition of some of the property there, that could become a very, very valuable property for the city to have as a park environment. There is a separate proposal for that land, and that's for recreational area for our baseball, softball, football. To have that is from some parks using that area for the recreational area. So,
well, you know, and if you look across, you want something downtown. You look across from the police station, across Grundy Street, and you see a hill just like the police station's built on, with a vacant lot on the top of it, and you want an amphitheater downtown. How could it be more perfect than that? You've already got it built there by the natural strata, and you can have that in your greenway right downtown. There's so many wonderful things, and the thing about it is, you made one statement a minute ago that makes this thing more powerful than anything we've had come along in a long time. It is a working, living document that has the ability to change and go forward.
That's correct. And that particular property that you're speaking of, across Grundy Street from the police station, one of the plans that was presented last night was a multi-use facility there. That could be an event center plus a restaurant overlooking the Central Park.
Right.
And by the way, that is an area that I look at almost every day as I leave the office.
Certainly.
And as I leave the office at sunset, there is no more beautiful view in our city than looking west from the police station or the city hall, if you will, or that area that you're talking about, looking across that park area to the west. It's a beautiful sunset.
It is. Mr. Mayor, I'm very happy and proud of you and proud for you for having this take place during your while you're holding the reins of this city and trying to guide it down the path that we journey on in the right direction. It seems like we're headed in the right direction.
Let me give you a tidbit update on what's been going on in the last year. Our Planning and Codes Department is really a new entity that we have that's being appreciated by all the developers in our community. And to date, from the Planning and Codes Department, they have issued over $16 million in new commercial construction permits. That's amazing.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. Not only that, but they have permitted over 350 new residential building sites. That is unheard of as well. So that's what's been going on outside of what's going on with our comp plan. That's what's existing, the development that's going on currently.
Living and breathing.
That's good. That's it.
We'll be right back after these commercial messages.
MacArthur Manor Assisted Living is passionate about creating better experiences for our Manchester seniors. Our residents describe us in a few words.
Welcoming.
When you walk through the doors at MacArthur Manor, we'll treat you like family.
Caring.
Through high standards of personalized care, we help residents live life to its fullest.
Engaging.
With a wide range of life-enriching activities, there is something for everyone at MacArthur Manor. With our residents and staff now vaccinated, call us today to schedule your safe and personalized tour.
There's a lot of talk about the risks associated with the COVID-19 vaccine, but the reality is, it's safer than going for a run. Give it a shot. Find a free appointment today at covid19.tn.gov.
The individuals with dementia, those with Parkinson's, those that have maybe mobility issues, need caregivers. Well, those caregivers are 24 hours a day at home, and they never get a rest. And if they have to go to work, they're kind of out of luck. So that's why Trinity came into existence 25 years ago, to allow the caregivers to have a safe center where they could put their loved ones, know they would be well cared for, stimulated, fed good nutritious meals, have activities to their level, and then the caregiver can stop by and pick them up and go on home and have some continuity into their life.
Welcome back. A planned discussion on how to solve the city's liquor license problem was abruptly paused Wednesday, November the 10th, as all 7 members of the Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen were served civil action summonses. The city board called for a special meeting to discuss the process for choosing one applicant for a certificate of compliance for a retail liquor store when multiple individuals presented eligible applications. The matter was first brought up when the Tullahoma crossed the 20,000 threshold in population after the 2020 census numbers were released, thereby allowing under the city's rules for the granting of another liquor store license. The overall numbers of retail liquor stores are tied to the city's population. The opening of the door for the city to grant another business brought multiple applications and also some complaints from interested individuals who said they were turned away when they inquired about submitting an application. The city board had first planned to hold a drawing to decide who would be granted city approval, but questions about the fairness and legality of the idea prompted the Board of Mayor and Aldermen to opt to hold a special meeting to decide what course to follow. However, all discussions on the matter were postponed Wednesday evening after the mayor and his 6 aldermen were made aware of a lawsuit brought by Jay Dameron. Dameron was one of 4 applicants for a certificate from the city to potentially open a new liquor store in town. He has sued the city of Tullahoma and each board member in their official capacity as mayor or alderman for denying his application. Per his complaint, Dameron alleges his applications was first in time and complete, therefore making the board's discussion to deny it unreasonable as denied by Tennessee Code Annotated. The statute Dameron cited in his filing states municipalities and counties may impose certain reasonable restrictions on the number of certificates of compliance issued by a retail liquor store. It also states applicants who are denied a certificate may seek a review of that denial by instituting an action in the Chancery Court having jurisdiction over the municipality or county within 60 days of the denial. The other thing Dameron is seeking per the complaint is that the Chancery Court of Coffee County declare the city's denial of his application unreasonable and such other relief as may be available under TCA 57-3-208 or any other statute material to relative to a retail liquor license. Dameron is represented by local attorney Garth Seagroves, who is currently mounting a campaign for General Sessions Judge Part 2. The mayor and aldermen were served in person within an hour of the special call meeting beginning. Given the service of process, city officials, including City Administrator Jennifer Moody and City Attorney Steve Worsham, recommended Mayor Ray Noyes call for a brief recess in the meeting in order for the board to enter an executive session to discuss the pending litigation. While all public meetings for the city board are subject to the Tennessee Open Meetings Act, which requires access for the press and the general public, executive sessions that deal with ongoing litigation are an exception to the law. The board and city officials remain in the executive session for approximately 45 minutes. This is a clip of the meeting.
The members of the board have all been served with summons to appear defend a civil action in Chancery Court. In that we've just received these summons as we entered the room, it's my opinion that we'll be in recess until we've had an opportunity to meet in executive session, which we'll do immediately downstairs with council. At this time, having completed an executive session to discuss the papers that have been served on all the aldermen from one of the applicants for a liquor license in the city. At this time, based on the results of that executive session, I'll entertain a motion to postpone the agenda for tonight until the city attorney's had an opportunity to review the complaints that have been filed and get back to the board with a recommended course of action.
Second.
Motion from Alderman Dunn, seconded by Alderman Blackwell. I'd like to have a vote on that. Call the question now. Vote green for approval and red for no. That motion passes 6-0.
6-1. 6-1.
6-1, excuse me. Motion passes 6-1. There's no further new business, no other old business. Meeting will be adjourned.
Stay with us. Your weather forecast is coming up next.
I got a tour and I saw all the things and I was so excited about them. And she took me to the movie theater and it had red chairs. This is a done deal and I like it.
We have so many activities here that you just can't keep up with them all. We have exercise, we have coloring, we have crafts.
It's charming, it's attractive, it's very comfortable. It was one of the best decisions of my life.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation. It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
All right, we'll take a look at your weather forecast at this time, starting with your weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1930 at 79 degrees. The record low was in 1959 at 14 degrees. Average high on this day is 59, and the average low is 36. So for tonight, look for a low of 29. And by the way, tonight there will be a lunar eclipse that will begin at midnight, peak at 3:02 a.m. and end at 3 a.m. It will be the longest lunar eclipse in 580 years, and at its peak, the moon could appear about 10,000 times dimmer than before the eclipse began. The Pleiades constellation, also called the Seven Sisters, will become very visible nearby during the darkest phase. So all you night owls, get out of bed tonight and go out there and check that out. On Friday, sunny weather expected with a high of 52 and a low of 31. And on Saturday, mostly sunny weather in the forecast with a high of 57 and a low of 40. And that's our News Leader report for this evening. We invite you to join us each Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10 for News Leader on 6. You have a good evening.